Hello everyone, good morning. So today I am your reporter, Mr. Roberto Caliwa from Tampilisan, Zamboanga del Norte. In today's session, we are going to explore the fascinating realm of the neuromuscular system, which often referred to as the body's command center for movement. Okay, so without further ado, let us start. Exploring the neuromuscular system. Okay, so when we talk about neuromuscular system, this stands for nerves and muscles that work together to facilitate movement and coordination within our body. Okay, so this time, let us understand the connection between the nerves and the muscles. So the connection between the nerves and the muscles is like a conversation between the two friends. So nerves send messages from your brain to your muscles, telling them when to move and how much. So these messages travels along the nerve fibers like a highway until they reach the muscles. Once there, the message tells the muscle fibers to contract or relax, which creates a movement. So this back and forth communication is what allows you to control your muscles and do all sorts of activities from running to typing on a keyboard. Okay, I will provide you an example where it emphasizes the connection between our nerves and our muscles. So let's say you want to pick up a pencil, no? Our brain sends a message through our nerves to our muscles in our hand and our arm, telling them to contract, no, in order to grasp the pencil. So this message travels quickly along the nerve fibers until it reaches to our muscles to lift up the pencil. So once you've picked up the pencil, this time your brain sends another message to relax those muscles, allowing you to hold the pencil steady or move it around as needed. So it's like your brain and muscles are working together as a team to accomplish the task. That's how the connection happens between our nerves and our muscles. Okay? Okay, this time let's proceed to the next slide. So what is neuromuscular system? So when we say neuromuscular system, it is a complex network that facilitates communication between the nervous system and the muscles. So ito na po yun, no? Gaya po ng sabi ko kanina na in order to produce a movement, yung brain po natin or si brain po, nagsisend po siya ng message or ng signal kung ano po yung gagawin. No? Yung message or yung signal na yun, dadaloy po siya sa nerves natin. Papunta po dun sa muscles, which is, yung muscle natin is responsible to produce a movement. No? Nakadepende po yun sa message na dinidikta ni brain. Okay? So, yun po yung neuromuscular system. So, that's how connection happens, no, between our brain, our nerves, and our muscles to provide a movement or to produce a movement. So, understanding how this system works is crucial for grasping how we move and function on a daily basis. Meaning to say, it is very important for us to be aware or to know about the neuromuscular system para po maunawaan natin kung paano gumagalaw ang ating katawan on a daily basis, no? How we move and function on a daily basis. Let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, so the anatomy of the neuromuscular system. The neuromuscular system consists of neurons, or what we call the nerve cells, and the muscle fibers. Okay, so the neuromuscular system consists of neurons and muscle fibers. So ano po yung neurons? Pag sinabi po natin neurons, no, these are the cells in the brain and nervous system that send signals to our muscles. So when the brain sends a command, neurons transmit the information to the muscle fibers. Muscle fibers in return respond to the signals from neurons by producing a movement or contraction. Okay, so upang mas maintindihan po ng lahat, no, si neurons po yung nagpapadala ng message or information galing po sa utak natin, papunta kay muscle fibers. Si muscle fibers naman po ngayon, no, magre-react or magre-respond po siya. No? Susunod po siya kung ano po yung sinabi ng utak natin. So sa anong paraan po susunod si muscle fiber? So in a way po na magpuproduce siya ng movement based doon sa signal or message na dinidikta ni brain. So really, our neuromuscular system is responsible for sending signals from the brain to the muscles to perform various movements and actions. Let's move on to our next slide. So we have here the nerve conduction. So when we say nerve conduction in neuromuscular system, these are the nerve impulses travel along neurons via electrochemical signals. Neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine play a key role in transmitting signals from nerves to muscles. Okay, so when we say nerve conduction, it is like an electrical signal traveling through a wire. When a nerve is stimulated, it sends a message in the form of a tiny electric pulse, traveling from one end of the nerve to the other. This process allows the nerves to communicate messages throughout your body, like telling your muscles to move or your skin to feel touch. So, meaning to say, when we say nerve conduction, this is a process, no, kung saan ang mga electrical impulses o mga signal ay pinapasa mula sa isang neuron patungo sa isa pang neuron. So, sa pamamagitan ng nerve conduction, no, nagkakaroon ng komunikasyon sa loob ng nervous system na nagpapahintulot sa paggalaw, pag-iisip at iba pang mga proseso sa katawan. Okay, just like for instance, try to imagine you touch something hot. Now, the sensory nerves in your skin pick up the heat sensation and send an electrical signal to your brain through your spinal cord. So, this allows you to quickly react by pulling your hand away from the heat source. So that's how nerve conduction happens. Kapag hinawakan natin yung bagay na mainit, no? Pag mararamdaman ng balat natin na mainit yung isang bagay na yon, yung sensory neurons, no, ng iyong balat ay magpapasa ng electrical impulses patungo sa iyong spinal cord at sa iyong brain. So pagdating doon sa brain natin, ito ay magpapadala ng signal, no, patungo sa mga motor neurons na kailangan upang ikaw ay umiwas doon sa mainit na bagay. I know some of us here are not aware about this process. The only thing na aware tayo is yung ang bilis nating mag-react, especially pag feel natin na mainit yung bagay. So at least this time, now we are aware that behind those reactions, there is a nerve conduction or there is a process of nerve conductions happens. Okay, so we are done with the nerve conduction. Let's proceed or let's move on to the muscle contraction. So muscle contraction occurs through the sliding filament theory. Calcium ions trigger the interaction between actin and myosin filaments, leading to muscle contraction. So, in the context of the neuromuscular system, when we say muscle contraction, this refers to the process by which muscle fibers generate tension or force in response to signals from motor neurons. When a motor neuron releases the neurotransmitters at the neuromuscular junction, it triggers a series of events within the muscle fiber that leads to contraction. So this process involves the sliding of actin and myosin filaments within the muscle fibers, powered by ATP, resulting in the shortening of the muscle and generation of force. So muscle contraction allows for movement, posture maintenance, and other functions essential for everyday activities. Okay, so if we talk about muscle contraction, this is the process where muscle fibers tighten and move. So if there is a process of muscle contraction, so there is a change in length in terms of our muscles. So these are the examples, no, including flexing the arm during exercise or moving the legs while walking. So that is the muscle contraction. Okay, so moving to our next slide, which is the neuromuscular junction. So the neuromuscular junction is where the nerve meets the muscle fiber. So neurotransmitters released from the nerve terminal stimulate the muscle fiber to contract. Okay, so pag sinabi nating neuromuscular junction, no, this is a communication between our nervous system and the muscular system, enabling coordinated movement and function. So this action potential then spreads across the muscle fiber, leading to contraction of the muscle. The neuromuscular junction ensures the precise transmission of signals from the nervous system to the muscle, enabling coordinated movement and control over the muscle function. So that is the neuromuscular junction. So this time, let's proceed to the motor units. Okay, so motor units consist of a motor neuron and the muscle fibers it innervates. Motor units recruitment enables varying degrees of muscle force to be produced. So motor units consist of a motor neuron and all the muscle fibers it controls. When the motor neuron is stimulated, all the muscle fibers connected to it respond to the stimulus and contract. The size of the motor unit and the number of the muscle fibers it controls may vary depending on the body's need for movement. In simple terms, motor units send the signals from the brain to the muscles, resulting in a movement or action. So, for precise movements like those in the fingers or eyes, a single motor neuron may only control a few muscle fibers, resulting in a small motor units. In contrast, for a larger, less precise movements, such as those in the leg muscles, a single motor neuron may innervate many muscle fibers, forming larger motor units. So that is the motor units. Okay, so moving on to the types of muscle fibers. So there are two main types of muscle fibers. We have the slow twitch or the type 1. We have also the fast twitch, the type 2. So let's discuss first the first type of the muscle fibers, the slow twitch or the type 2. Slow twitch fibers are fatigue resistant and suited for endurance activities. So in this type of muscle fibers, contract slowly and are resistant to fatigue. So they are well suited for endurance activities like long distance running or maintaining posture. So type 1 fibers have a high concentration of mitochondria, which support aerobic metabolism, and they rely primarily to oxidative energy pathways. So this type of fibers, ginagamit siya sa gawain na pangmatagalan at hindi madaling napapagod. So this is the type 1 or the first type of muscle fibers, the slow twitch fibers. We have here also the second type of muscle fibers, the fast twitch fibers. So the fast twitch fibers generate more force but fatigue quickly. So what is the fast twitch fibers? So these muscle fibers contract quickly and are moderately resistant to fatigue. They're involved in activities like require both strength and endurance, like sprinting or swimming. So type 2A fibers can generate energy through both aerobic and anaerobic metabolism. So this kind of fibers naman, no, ginagamit siya sa mga gawain na nangangailangan ng lakas at bilis, no, tulad ng pag-sprint o pag-angat ng mga mabibigat na bagay. So that is the fast twitch or the second type of muscle fibers. So let's proceed to the next slide, the neuromuscular disorders. So common neuromuscular disorders include ALS or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis and muscular dystrophy. These disorders affect the neuromuscular system, leading to muscle weakness and loss of function. So, neuromuscular disorders are conditions that affect the nerves that control voluntarily muscles and the communication between these nerves and the muscles themselves. So, these disorders can result in muscle weakness, atrophy, involuntary muscle contractions, and other symptoms. So, these are some common neuromuscular disorders. We have muscular dystrophy, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, myasthenia gravis, peripheral neuropathy, spinal muscular atrophy, and the Charcot-Marie tooth disease, or what we call the CMT. Okay, so finally, we are now down to our conclusion. So, again, when we say neuromuscular system, it plays a vital role in movement and overall function. So, by understanding its anatomy and function, we gain insight into how our bodies work and how to maintain optimal neuromuscular health. So, I would like to say thank you for listening with my entire report. I hope you learned something, no? Once again, this is Roberto Kaliwa. Good afternoon, everyone, and God bless us all. Thank you.